Okay, so I wanted to call this one like Dragon Questions. Yeah? My bad, right? Anyway, though, there have been a few questions I've had about certain events throughout the series that keep me up at night. Now, I'm sure I just missed something, so please help me out here, and let's go through them together. And this is just 1 through 9. I'm about halfway through 11, and I'm taking it a bit slow. But I will say, it's much better than I was expecting, and the expectations were already high. So let's start at the beginning with Dragon Quest 1, 2, and 3. In Dragon Quest 1 and 2, there's clearly daylight, right? There does seem to be a sun. Now in 3, we see the hero fall into a pit and land in the Dark World, which we eventually find out is Elfgard. Initially, I always just assumed somehow Elfgard is below the hero's world, but really, how would that work? So then, was the pit really a portal to another world? That would explain how the hero could have survived a fall from what would have had to have been an incredible height, and explain why there would be a sun. But that doesn't make too much sense either. So, how can Elfgard have a sun if it's underground? In Dragon Quest IV, do we ever meet the hero's mother? We know for sure the father was killed, but I don't remember hearing what happened to the mother. Is it ever implied what might have happened to her? And who were the villagers raising the hero? How did they know to protect and train him? Dragon Quest V is perfect. In Dragon Quest VI, well, wait. 5 is so good, it threw time travel in at the end, which I usually hate, and it worked. Well, if you can get past the fact that the elves just have a magic painting that allows time travel. Dragon Quest V handles it well without having any big, glaring, paradoxical issues. I have to admit that Dragon Quest VI was a rough one for me story-wise, which is part of the reason why I didn't talk about it. The other big reason was time. But I do really need to go back and play it again now that I understand what's going on, so I apologize, but in Dragon Quest VI, Millie uses an ocarina to call a little dragon. I think maybe like a wyvern. It takes the group to Murdoch's castle. Now, I actually forgot about it for a while, but on the second attempt at Murdoch's castle, she pulls it out again. I'm pretty sure throughout the game there's no mention of what this ocarina is, where it came from, and how Millie got it, right? I mean, does it only work in that one area? If so, fine. If not, why are we wasting our time walking around instead of riding that thing? In Dragon Quest VII, there's the Ritual of Revival. It was a nice little twist, but I've been wondering who actually designed it. Now, it does seem like the Holy Order of the Almighty passed it down to the roamers and they just carried it on, right? So we perform the ritual, and Orgo Demir, disguised as the Almighty, appears. Okay, sure, but we still successfully completed the ritual, so why wouldn't the Almighty show up? Why would he come up with this incredibly specific ritual for nothing? So then I thought, okay, well maybe Orgo Demir is the one who really came up with it, and he somehow convinced everyone that this was the Almighty's plan. That way he could show up and continue his plans without issue. But then why would he come up with such a complicated ritual? And considering the way the world was going, it's incredibly unlikely the right dancer, the right Torben player with the proper gear performed this ritual at the right place and time. Unless he knew a group of time-traveling kids would hop through portals and undo all the work of his minions. But then that raises all kinds of other questions, so probably not. So yeah, where was God? In Dragon Quest VIII, there are a couple instances where the hero is immune to Dual Magus' attacks. He avoids the first curse that transforms everyone at Trodain Castle, and then again when Dual Magus directly attacks him.
Now taste my true power! You will ride in the unbearable agony of these thorns forever!
I'm pretty sure there's no chosen one or prophecy situation in this game. It's just about a capable group out trying to right some wrongs, which I actually thought was a nice change. So, why can the hero resist these spells when no one else can?
What? Why isn't it working? What kind of trickery is this?
And finally, in Dragon Quest IX, what exactly happened to Corvus in the first place? For the other questions I had, I'm pretty sure they aren't answered in game, but this one could be. When I played through 9, I mainly stuck to the main story, only completing a few side quests, so it's possible the answer's in there, but what exactly happened to Corvus that injured him and made him visible to humans? Our characters nearly hit with something that ended up reaching the realm of the Almighty, so I guess I can understand it having some effects on our character, like losing his halo, his wings, and humans being able to see him. Okay, fine. But what happened to Corvus? What could have injured him and made him visible to humans? So those are a few of the questions I've had about Dragon Quest events throughout the series. If you've got any idea at all, let me know. Thanks again for your time, and I'll see you later.